Good evening, guys, to a Fundry Philippines. Good evening. Thank you for joining me in Storyteller's Corner. And now we are off back to Topsy Tickle Town. And I point that way, it's always Topsy Tickle Town. So, you remember last time Patricia packed up her paints and her easel and left town. And then we had a new arrival, Del the Adventurer. An Indiana Jones style type character. So let's read on. So this is chapter 105 in Topsy Tickle Town, the story that chose Del. Let's see what's going on. The town was quieter than usual, not silent, just listening again. In the centre of the square, a small circle formed, not around a fire, but around Davy, the older distinguished gentleman. He sat on the bench, hands resting on his cane, eyes calm, bright and knowing. Veronica sat cross-legged, trying not to bounce, which is near impossible. Bramble leaned gently against her. Yeah, them two's got a bond. Veronica and Bramble have got some kind of bond. Veronica sat cross-legged, trying not to bounce, with Bramble the teddy bear leaning against her gently. Morel stood nearby, the faint scent of blueberries drifting in the air. Geeg and Richard sat together, naturally, because they're a beautiful couple. Imelda stood just behind them, her light dim but present. And Del stood at first, then slowly sat, curious but not yet still. Davy looked around the circle, then up at the spiral, then back at them. I once knew a traveller, he says. Someone who went looking for every door they could find. Del smirked slightly. Sounds like someone I'd like. Davy's eyes twinkled. Oh, you would. The travellers, Davy continued. Never stayed long. They belonged to the next place. They believed the next place would be better, more interesting, more important. Del shifted slightly. That's not wrong. Davy nodded. No, it isn't. He leaned forward just a little, but they never asked one question. The town leaned in. Even Veronica stayed still. What question? Del asked. Davy's voice softened. What if this place is already enough? Silence followed. Del looked away slightly, towards the spiral, towards the painted canvas, towards everything they hadn't explored yet. But what if it isn't? Del says. Davy smiled gently. Then you'll know. But if you never stay long enough to find out, you'll always be chasing something you can't name. The traveller grew tired, Davy continued, not from walking, but from never arriving. Geegy squeezed Richard's hand gently. Bramble gave a small, quiet hug to no one in particular, and somehow to everyone. One day, Davy said, the traveller reached a place very much like this one, Topsy Tickle Town. Del's eyes shifted, and they lifted as well. Del's eyes lifted. Shifty eyes. Shifty-eyed Del. Like this? Davy nodded. Strange, warm, full of things that didn't make sense at first. Veronica whispered, That's definitely here. She's whispering to Bramble, by the way, guys. That's definitely here, Bramble. They stood at the edge, Davy said, just like you did today. Ready to explore, ready to leave. Del's voice was quieter now. And what did they do? Davy looked directly at them. They stayed. Not forever, Davy added gently, just enough to listen and to connect. To become part of a story instead of passing through it. Passing ships through the night, strangers in the night. Del sat very still now. The restless energy had softened. His hands rested on the compass, but he didn't move. And then, he asked quietly. Davy smiled. And the place changed them. When they finally left, they weren't searching any more. They were carrying something. The spiral shimmered faintly above. The painted canvas glowed softly behind them. Two paths, two kinds of journeys. Dell looked at both, then back at Davy. "You're not just telling a story, are you?" Davy chuckled. "Aren't I?" Dell looked back at Davy. "You're not just telling a story, are you?" Davy chuckled. "Aren't I?" He chuckled as well. Dell stood slowly, but this time he didn't head for the edge of town. He walked instead towards the centre, towards the others, towards the place where things happen. "I'll stay," he says. "Not forever." A small smile, but long enough. See, once an adventurer, always an adventurer. He wants to leave town before he's even sat down and took off his coat. Like my dad used to say when we was kids, me and my brother, we used to come and rush in the winter with our coats on, dive into our dishes. "Come on, your dinner's ready." We used to dive into our chips, homemade chips. And he said, "If you're staying, take off your coat." So that's related to that. Was what that reminded me of. Veronica jumped up. "Yes." Bramble hugged Dell immediately. Hug. A warm glow spread, and the first time Dell didn't feel like moving. Morel smiled softly. "That suits you." Gigi nodded. "It really does." Davy leaned back on the bench, watching, not proud, not surprised, just content. Lisa wrote one final note for the evening. Conclusion: stories can change direction. And as the stars began to appear, Davy spoke one more time. "Every journey needs movement," he said, "but the best ones always need a place to pause." And there we go, guys. As it pauses, we end the story there for a moment. So join me Wednesday evening. Wednesday evening for chapter 106. Yeah, 106 in Topsy Tickle Town, for when blueberries decide they were in charge. Blueberries ganging up on the town. So let's see what the blueberries are up to. We're not talking about the phone, the blueberry. I'm talking about the fruit. Fruit. So join me tomorrow, guys. Chapter 106. When blueberries decide they were in charge. Oh, I'm in charge around here. Anyway, guys, and another bombshell I'm going to drop on you now, guys. Tomorrow, surprisingly, it's the very last chapter of Where Forever Begins with Vanessa and Nico. You remember last time we went for a rocky patch, and now they smooth things over. So tomorrow, guys, tomorrow. Bukas. Bukas in Tagalog is tomorrow. Bukas Nangabi. Oh no, it's going to be Bukas Amaga. It's in the morning. So join me for the very last chapter of Where Forever Begins with Vanessa and Nico, where it is called, simply it's called Where Forever Begins. So they're going to ride off into the sunset, I think. Happy as Larry, holding hands. So we'll see. But don't worry, guys, we've got a new story. Oh, breaking news. A new story on the horizon. And it's called Between Duty and Desire. Oh, now, what's that all about? And that is a story set in Victorian England, in London. And it's where a chauffeur and his lady that he's driving around enter that taboo, forbidden love. So, causing rocking scandals through the high society of Kensington, London. So, that's going to be on Thursday, guys. Our new story, Between Duty and Desire. So, look out for that. It's a bit in like the Lady Chatterley's Lover type style, I think. No, I watched the film the other night, guys, about a chauffeur that fell in love with his the lady he's driving around with, and that gave me the inspiration. So I've been watching too much telly again, guys, so there we go. Anyway, guys, thank you for joining me in Storyteller's Corner. Hope you're enjoying with Topsy Tickle Down, especially Del, the adventurer, a new arrival. And we'll see what happens tomorrow when blueberries decide they're in charge. I'm in charge. That's why I talk in London. I'm in charge around here. Okay, guys, that's it then. Thank you for joining me, and have a very pleasant evening. God bless us all. Join me Wednesday for the very last chapter of Where Forever Begins, and it's called Where Forever Begins, the last chapter, if you understand, if you catch my drift. And we'll have it on Thursday. We're going to have a new story, Between Duty and Desire. So, but join me tomorrow again for Topsy Tickle Town, where blueberries decide they were in charge. Who put them in charge? We'll see. We'll see, guys, don't worry. So there we go, guys. Thank you very much for joining me this evening. Storyteller's Corner. You can find a way out. It's just around that next corner over there. No, door, the next door. That's it. All right, no, thank you. Okay, guys, there you go. Take care now, and God bless you all. Bye bye.